Hello, in this video we are going to be talking about the spirituality, and I'm going to give you my opinion why I think it is good to watch scientific videos even though you are someone who is spiritual. There are, more reasons why I think that it is fine, and I am also going to tell you something which may be stopping some spiritual people from watching scientific videos and how you could deal with that. So yeah, I think that it's great to be someone who is in some way spiritual because you are searching for yourself, you are searching for meaning in life, you are trying to be maybe better person, to be more conscious, to be more joyful. But I think it is still fine to know the science because you may be more grounded. I think it's very, very easy to be someone spiritual and to not be grounded at all. And I personally love to build my spirituality on a scientific base, because I do not want to be someone who is completely off, or I do not want to believe something which is not the case. So I love to watch science, I love to watch about the evolution, I love to watch videos about physics, about quantum physics, about Einstein and speed of light and things of this nature. And I think it is really, really good for even spiritual people to know these things. It doesn't mean that you need to agree with everything. It doesn't mean that you have to 100% agree with evolution. It doesn't mean that you need to 100% agree that the scientists are telling you that you are just a brain and nothing more, because science is also many times wrong. Science is also evolving, and many scientific new things, they came slowly. If when we found out that there are like these microscopic things, when you take your microscope and you find that there is a life, someone who discovered this and wrote to the scientific community, they told him to quit drinking. When we found out that the universe is expanding, many scientists had issue with this. So science is not 100% right every time, because science is evolving. But I think it is fine to know about these things. So yeah, one thing which may be stopping some people, maybe even you, from watching scientific videos is that many of the scientists are in some way close-minded, because they are 100% sure that we are just a brain, that when we die, that's it, there is nothing spiritual about the universe, and so on. There are some exceptions with the scientists, but to be honest, most of them that I watch are pretty sure that there is nothing when we die. Most of them are pretty sure that we are just an atoms and nothing more. But this is something which is not stopping me from watching their videos, because those people know things that I don't know, but I know things that they don't know, So I don't blame some scientist that he doesn't believe in soul, or that he doesn't believe, or she, in anything more, when I find out that scientists have zero experiences with meditation, zero experiences with maybe some psychedelics, zero experiences with lucid dreams, with sleep paralysis, or anything, that you have a scientist who never ever in his life had any experience beyond the normal experience, then it's it makes sense that he or she doesn't believe in something more. But I or you or someone, we had these spiritual experiences, maybe these psychedelic experiences, some deep meditation, or some precognitive dreams, some sleep paralysis, these lucid dreams, or anything. And so I am not 100% convinced that there is a soul. I am still open-minded to the possibility that there isn't. I don't know. But I have many reasons, with my own experiences, but also with some kind of logical thinking, to think that there is more. Okay? But those scientists that I watch, they do not know about this. They have zero experiences with things like meditation and all of the things that I said. But on the other hand, these scientists know way more about universe, they know way more about the evolution, they know way more about the physics, and I have no issue watching some scientist because he knows what he is saying, when it comes to this, external world, even though that, even if consciousness or some kind of awareness or some kind of God or something is beyond all of the reality, that everything comes from the consciousness, there are still these, rules, there is still this gravity, there are still these magnetic fields, and, things of this nature, and these things, we have empirical evidence about them. So and I love to watch these videos about the science because I want to explore the universe in both ways. I want to explore this internally, through meditation or through any type of experience, but I also want to know this, from external knowledge, because, I exist, but the world also exists. So I think it makes sense that if you want to know yourself, studying yourself internally may help you understand the external world, and studying the external world may help you understand your internal world. So and maybe some people are, they do not want to watch these scientists because those scientists dismiss any possibility of something more. And maybe that's a little pity, or I don't know how to say it, that something like this may be stopping you from knowing about more science, because these scientists are, close-minded to these possibilities. So I remember when years ago I was reading a book, amazing book in my opinion. It was Richard Dawkins' Selfish Gene, and Richard Dawkins, he's atheist as hell. He is like 100% convinced that there is nothing more in the end. And I was reading his book about the evolution, and back then, I was more spiritual, less grounded, and and I started to read his book, and it was, attacking my beliefs about the incarnations, about the soul, and so on. But at the same time, it made sense what he was writing. And I was in a state that I rather know the truth than feed myself with the bullshit. So if there is no soul, if there is no afterlife, if there is nothing, I am okay with it. Maybe not okay like immediately, but I am willing to go there because I want to know the truth and I do not want to believe something which is not right. So I was reading this book and more I was, thinking that probably he is right and there is, nothing more. But years later, I am like, okay, evolution for me makes a lot of sense. And in my opinion, it is something which is real, But at the same time, it doesn't mean for me that there cannot be consciousness beyond the brain, Because for now, there was not a single scientist who would, tell me how consciousness arises. They have no idea. They may have evidence that we have evolved from the primates. They may have evolved that all life started as a bacteria life. They may have evidence that, there is gravity and things like that. But not a single scientist has even a clue how consciousness arises. Not a single scientist has clue how universe started. Like they say Big Bang, but how you get something from nothing and things of this nature. So yeah, and I am not in no way trying to convince you if you don't believe in evolution or something, that's fine. I am just talking from my experience. But it's like, right now for me, it's not something that either there is evolution or there is afterlife, both can be the case. And also it is fine to when someone challenge your beliefs, it doesn't mean that you need to believe everything that that person is going to say, or especially I hope that I am not putting my beliefs into you because I am just telling you my opinion. But that book was challenging my beliefs, and that's fine, because I was open-minded to the possibility that there is nothing more, But as I said, years later, I am not trying to, be. I don't mind if there is afterlife or if there is not afterlife, I just want to, as objectively as possible, look at this without preference, and still I found it a little bit more possible that there is afterlife than there isn't, but that's just my point of view. But the main message with this video is that it's good to know science because it may, make you more grounded, and if you are avoiding scientific books or scientific videos because these scientists are completely dismissing everything that you believe or that you have in your experience, that there is incarnations, astrology, homeopathy, anything, you may take from those scientists something that they know better than you do, and you may maybe smile, not in an egoic way, but just smile that, okay, someone who has zero experience with meditation, someone who have zero spiritual experiences, and someone who is 60 years old and doesn't even know what a lucid dream means, has no authority, in my opinion, to tell me that there is zero chance that there is something more, So, yeah. This is just my opinion, reality may be, may be different, but I just wanted to encourage you maybe to also, balance your spirituality with science, I am not in this video convincing scientific people to watch spiritual videos. This video is more intended to spiritual people to take a look at the science and, ignore things that you don't agree or let your beliefs to be challenged, and be open-minded about possibility. And that it's more like we are seeking the truth. Science is seeking the truth. Spirituality is seeking the truth. So why don't use both? So yeah. You may write me down in the comments your opinions if you like scientific videos or books or not or anything. So yeah. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day and goodbye.